We need right, not just one alcohol. Alcohols. Right, just a different blend. You need the ladies, you need the booze, you need some water. For watering plants? No. A lot of ladies drink water at parties. If you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave. Gotta keep them there. Right. You need locks on the door.
Hey, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
Physically, the place has to be hot. You don't have no air conditioning. Why is that? Heat affects the alcohol. Body gets a little bit more comfortable and loose.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Since Day One. Before we get into this video today about Shawn Diddy Combs, go ahead and like the video, comment down below, and if you are new, smash that subscribe button to take flight with us.
Fake love, I don't need it, you can keep it as a fake. I had to make up my mind. I took that weight on my shoulder. I done been down.
So you guys know that we spent a lot of time covering Surviving R. Kelly and R. Kelly's case here on Since Day One. And I know many of you followed the series from the very beginning. You've seen how deep the rabbit hole goes with the power and the industry complicity. But as we've learned from that case, justice and accountability don't stop with one person. And there's still a lot more to uncover. With that being said, I want to pivot in the ongoing situation with Shawn Diddy Combs. As many of you know, Diddy has been at the center of some very serious allegations that go back years, decades even. The time has come to dive into this case, and trust me when I say it's just as tangled, complex, and explosive as the R. Kelly saga. So let's break it down. Many people may not realize the ties between R. Kelly and Diddy, but these two figures have shared connections within the music industry for decades. Both have been implicated in disturbing allegations, and both have had their actions enabled by powerful people around them. This isn't just about Diddy or R. Kelly. This is a deeper issue that involves industry gatekeepers, powerful moguls like Jay Z, and how the music world has turned a blind eye to abuse for far too long. We're talking about a system that protected these men and allowed them to manipulate people for years or decades even. I just wanted to come and let you guys know that over the next few weeks, we'll break down all of the lawsuits, the allegations, the legal battles, and the connections between Diddy, R. Kelly, Jay Z, and more. We're going to dive deep into how these men have navigated their fame and power and how it has affected the people around them. In November of 2023, Cassie filed a lawsuit against Diddy accusing him of physical, emotional, and SA during their relationship. She also claimed that he trafficked her to other men and forced her into SA as a part of her contract with him. She has since settled her case. And it's important to note that Cassie's legal team claimed that the abuse was ongoing for years, spanning their entire relationship. They argued that Diddy controlled her life from her career to personal relationships using threats and manipulation. It's also important to note that Diddy settled Cassie's lawsuit within 24 hours, and a lot of people automatically thought that made him look most guilty. There was a previous Jane Doe lawsuit that was also filed by an anonymous woman accusing Diddy of raping her in 2017 after a meeting in his apartment. The case was dismissed in 2024, but it still drew attention to the pattern of alleged behavior by Diddy. And it's also important to note that though this case was dismissed, the fact that it was brought to the light brings more attention to Diddy's potential predatory actions. There have been multiple women's testimonies. Other women have come forward in media interviews detailing abusive interactions with Diddy during their time working with him or being involved with him romantically. Many claim that they were coerced into SA under the guise of career advancement or as a part of the industry contract. This all has some type of connection to his business empire, you guys, because some have suggested that Diddy used his position as a music mogul to exert power over women and men in the industry, often offering career opportunities in exchange for sexual favors or silence. I also wanted to draw the connections between Diddy, R. Kelly, and Jay Z, you guys, and other influential figures in the music industry. This is key because it will allow us to see the broader web of relationships and how these powerful figures may have been intertwined in the larger narrative of manipulation and industry protection. Although these men, you guys, operated in almost different spheres, they were still all in Hollywood in the music industry. Jay Z was just rap, R. Kelly was more so R&B, and Diddy was just the producer of it all. But when you share certain commonalities in their rise to power and how they maintained their control over others and how they became untouchable until the truth started to surface, the goal is to help us understand that there are significant connections between them that go beyond music. So before we dive deep into their individual stories, let's talk about something that unites these men: power. Power in the music industry isn't just about being the most famous or making the most money. It's about control. Control over people, over narratives, over careers, and most importantly, control over the truth. R. Kelly, Diddy, and Jay Z are all men who have used their influence in the industry to maintain power over their careers, personal lives, and those around them. They've been protected by industry elite, and for years, their dark secrets were hidden in plain sight. R. Kelly and Diddy were at the peak of their careers around the same time. Both men had immense control over the artists and the people they worked with, but there is something darker beneath the surface of their connection. According to insiders and reports, Diddy and R. Kelly were both involved in similar, allegedly abusive behaviors, and both have reputations for exploiting women and young people in the industry. There are even reports of both men attending the same parties and interacting with the same circle of powerful figures. It's important to remember that in a world where they were both thriving, it will be very difficult for anyone to challenge their power or expose their actions. Now let's bring Jay Z into this equation. Jay Z, one of the biggest names in hip hop, had a business relationship with both R. Kelly and Diddy at various points in time. But behind the scenes, there are allegations that Jay Z was trying to distance himself from R. Kelly as R. Kelly's actions had started coming to light. Some industry insiders believe that Jay Z was very much a part of the forces that helped bring down R. Kelly. Whether or not you believe the rumors, there are claims that Jay Z had a major influence on the surviving R. Kelly documentary that aired on Lifetime. The documentary, which shed light on R. Kelly's decades of abuse, was released in 2019, around the same time that Jay Z's own public image was being solidified as an activist and business mogul. Jay Z has never directly commented on the surviving R. Kelly series, but the timing of his public stand against R. Kelly, along with his involvement in the major social justice movement, suggests that he may have been pushing for R. Kelly's downfall, especially since there were rumors that R. Kelly knew some compromising information about Jay Z and others. So let's talk about the broader industry web. When you look at these men, R. Kelly, Diddy, and Jay Z, they represent the old guard of the music industry. Men who were able to build empires, protect their secrets, and dictate what the public saw. However, there are whispers and even some confirmations that many of the people who were once closest to them, people who helped build their empires, are now speaking out. This brings us to the heart of the issue. The music industry has long been complicit in covering up the actions of powerful men like Diddy and R. Kelly and Jay Z and many more. These men were given opportunities to remain untouchable, but things are changing. The survivors of their abuse, the whistleblowers, and the shifting culture around accountability in Hollywood and the music world are finally demanding the truth come out. One of the key tactics used by both Diddy and R. Kelly was manipulation. They preyed on young women, whether in relationships, business deals, or career opportunities, to control them. Allegations against both men involve similar patterns of abuse, grooming, manipulation, and intimidation, all designed to keep their victims silent. Jay Z, while not directly involved in those actions, certainly benefited from the power structures that were put in place by figures like Diddy and R. Kelly. His position in the industry gave him access to networks and power that align with these abusive practices. And many believe he used his influence to create a safer image for himself, distancing himself from these alleged abusers. For decades, the industry turned a blind eye to these men's actions. But what happens when a system built on silence starts to crack? What happens when the stories that were once buried finally come to light? That's where we are now with Diddy, R. Kelly, and even Jay Z. The past is catching up to them, and the public is starting to demand answers. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think about the connections between Diddy, R. Kelly, and Jay Z? Do you believe there's more to this story that hasn't been uncovered yet? Leave your thoughts and opinions down below and your theories in the comments, you guys, and let's discuss it. If you have any personal experiences or information related to Diddy or the music industry that you want to share, feel free to DM me on Instagram at @since_day_one. I'm open to hearing your stories, and together we can continue uncovering the truth. You never know, your story could help us piece everything together.
So long, sleeping from sofa to sofa. Now I'ma step on these little bitty bitches. In some brand new Gucci low, some Gucci walking. I got tired of eating Big Mama's chicken. Now it's business when I walk out.